Aunt Lila was, what was the word again? All right, frugal. Not cheap, not selfish, just careful, which was what Mama was learning to be, because now she had to work and she didn't make much money. Now they lived in a crappy little 2-bedroom apartment on the 4th floor of a building with a broken elevator, an apartment they had to share with her grandma. Jazzy's lips curled in a sneer of her own because she did not like her father's mama. Grandma could be hateful sometimes. She was the one who called Aunt Lila selfish and cheap, all because Grandma was stupid. She'd borrowed too much money and lost her house, all for Jazzy's father, who broke all his promises. Asshole, Jazzy muttered under her breath, more than a little proud she hadn't stuttered, even a little. Asshole, she repeated firmly, enunciating the way her speech therapist had taught her to do, because asshole had a lot of sounds that she had trouble with. She figured her therapist wouldn't have approved of the word, but Jazzy didn't much care. It was a damn good word, well worth practicing because it came in handy, often, especially when she thought about her father, which she'd done a lot in the last few months, ever since they'd had to leave the house that had always been her home. Mama had tried so hard to keep the house, but she couldn't make enough money as a secretary. It wasn't her fault. That was all on her dad, who, according to Grandma, could do no wrong and would be back soon to take care of them again. Soon had stretched into almost 3 years. That was a long time when you were only 11. Jazzy grabbed onto the banister and pulled herself up the last stair. All she wanted to do was curl up on the sofa, watch cartoons, and let the AC cool her skin. She stopped on the landing. The front door to their tiny apartment was ajar, and Jazzy could feel it, the wrongness of it, the heavy dread she could actually taste, and it tasted bad. It was, she wanted to cry, toilet smells. Not again, Mama. Not today. Jazzy was so tired, so hot, but she knew she'd have to clean Mama up. She didn't want Janie to see their Mama this way, ever. Her shoulders slumped, her eyes filling with new tears. Damn it, Mama. Sometimes her mother was so sad. She and Janie tried to cheer her up, but nothing they did was ever good enough. Some days Mama didn't get out of bed at all, and some days she came home from work early and drank until she fell asleep on the sofa. Those were the days the drapes were pulled so no light could get in. Dark days, in more ways than one. Those were the days that Jazzy gathered the empty bottles and threw them away, then cleaned her Mama up, covered her with a blanket, and tried to make it look like she really was just napping and not passed out drunk. Jazzy didn't want Janie to know about any of that. Her little sister was only 5. She didn't understand the dark days. This was going to be one of those days. Jazzy would see to her Mama, then call Aunt Lila to pick up Janie from daycare because Mama wouldn't drive when she was drunk, because Jazzy would never let her, which meant finding her car keys and hiding them. Again. I'm running out of places to hide things. Something needed to change, but Jazzy didn't know what that thing could be. She carefully pushed the door open enough to slip through. It was dark in the apartment, but she'd known it would be. Still hauling her backpack, she tiptoed into the living room, not wanting to wake her mother, because drunk Mama was not very patient. She picked her way around the furniture, some of the only things they'd kept from the house. It was fancy furniture that didn't look right in this shabby little room, but it was familiar. Mama liked to sleep on the sofa most nights, probably because she had to share a bedroom with Grandma. Jazzy figured she had it good with only having to share with Janie. The wingback chair in the corner was Jazzy's and always had been, even before they moved here. The chair had come with them from the old house. Cuddling deep into it made her feel protected, and behind it had always been a good hiding place when her parents had fought. She'd hidden behind the chair a lot in the old days. So maybe we weren't so happy after all. She stumbled as her foot hit something unfamiliar. Grabbing the arm of the sofa, she managed to stay upright, just as she heard a sound, a loud sound, rustling and banging and thudding, and then a man's voice, swearing. Someone's here, in the coat closet.